Sometimes the person who seems to be helping you isn't actually your friend at all. And I think it's well past time we properly call out feminists for the damage they're doing to females, not just for the destruction of the boys and men they constantly target. I'm raising 3 daughters, and it's funny how the people who concern me the most are the activists who claim to be fighting on behalf of women. No, you're not. You're not helping my daughters. Here's why. About the worst thing you can do to a girl is take away her ability to be compatible with males. Isn't that a crucial point the modern feminist movement seems to be missing? We are a social species that relies on sexual reproduction. For the most part, we also depend on pair bonding for prosperity and continuation. Men and women are designed to complement one another. Any activity that drives men and women apart and weakens pair bonding is fundamentally anti-human. And that's exactly what feminism does. You are hurting all of us, and that includes females. One of the biggest ways feminism has sabotaged women's happiness is by convincing young women that their careers should come first. Millions of women are sailing through their 20s, confidently believing they can have it all, only to realize later that they've been sold a lie. The reality isn't glamorous, let's be honest.
Oh.
Research consistently shows that single, childless women in their 40s and 50s report higher levels of unhappiness and depression, often relying heavily on antidepressants. This isn't judgment, it's just what's happening. When women are young, they're at their peak value in the dating market. That's a biological truth. Unfortunately, feminism has convinced many women to trade those crucial years for a career path, overlooking the fact that the men they desire often prioritize younger women when choosing a long-term partner. Too many women are left surprised, hurt, and disillusioned when the rules they were taught suddenly stop working.
It sucks.
They start asking, where did all the good men go?
Being single at 46 sucks.
But the better question is, why were they told to ignore those men in the first place? By the time they realize this, the men they overlooked have moved on.
All the good men have gotten married in their 20s and 30s.
Their dating options have narrowed, and the regrets start to pile up. Historically, nearly everyone settled down and married young, typically in their early 20s. This created clear expectations and stable relationship norms. Today, delaying family creates chaos in the dating world for everyone. Instead of men and women pairing up at similar stages, we now have a mismatch. Some are ready for marriage, others just want casual dating, and many are stuck somewhere in between. The result is confusion, endless situationships, and people constantly feeling like they're dating in circles. Nobody knows what anyone wants anymore, and even fewer are brave enough to say it out loud. The contraceptive pill and extended periods of singleness only compound the problem by weakening the natural pair bonding instinct. As women build up high body counts, they diminish their ability to emotionally attach, to trust, and to settle into long-term relationships. Promiscuity also creates unrealistic expectations, both for what relationships should feel like and what kind of man they believe they deserve. The sad state of modern dating and relationships is causing a significant number of men to pull away. They stop dating, they stop marrying, they step back because continuing no longer seems worth it. Most don't truly believe that women are better off without them, but they feel despised as if they've been told to go away, so they do. The response of feminists to the trend of men going their own way is especially revealing. On this busy feminist forum discussing MGTOW, the most upvoted responses are hostile. One said, MGTOW is about being anti-women and anti-feminist. Another added, it's all about hating women, hating society, hating everything. Really? Or is that just what they need to believe? Because the alternative would mean taking responsibility for pushing these thoughtful men away in the first place. Men walking away from a system they see as rigged isn't aggression, it's self-preservation. After years of rejection, blame, and being painted as the problem, not just in dating but in courtrooms too, they've had enough. Family courts sideline fathers, drain their finances and assume they're guilty. Divorce can wipe you out emotionally and financially. So when a man looks at all that and says, "No thanks," who can really blame him? But instead of asking why men are disengaging, feminists continue to label them villains. Not for logical reasons, but because their absence exposes the cracks in the feminist narrative. How can you be an oppressor when you've chosen to step away? The very idea that men might be better off alone suggests something has gone seriously wrong, something that has made relationships with women a toxic proposition. Feminism has also damaged relationship dynamics by encouraging women to see traditional marriage roles as oppression. They can perceive cooperation and compromise as a form of defeat or submission. As a result, many women become needlessly confrontational and quick to walk away the moment they feel unsatisfied. Most men just want peace and stability at home, but now they often find themselves with partners who treat them like opponents instead of allies. That dynamic creates tension, resentment, and ultimately broken families. Women have been trained to see oppression everywhere. So partner dynamics that are actually just normal and healthy become unacceptable. A man sitting on the sofa having a break comes to signify using his woman for domestic servitude. Never mind that he'd do the same thing if she weren't around, only without the guilt and nagging. The most basic human behaviour now gets framed as exploitation. Part of the issue is how feminism has repackaged rebellion as empowerment. Girls are taught that pushing back against anything traditional is a virtue. Independence gets defined as refusing to compromise or sacrifice, especially in relationships. It becomes a competition to prove how little they need anyone, especially a man. But that's not real strength. Empowerment isn't about being defiant just to make a point. It's about making thoughtful choices and accepting the consequences. It means recognizing that chasing control, constant independence, or emotional dominance doesn't lead to connection. It pushes it away. A lot of women don't even realize why they hold the attitudes they do. It's not rebellion, it's programming. And sadly, many only start to question it when the attention fades and the silence sets in. Being a strong, independent woman can be empowering in many ways, but it's not conducive to happy relationships. Real men aren't compatible with women who act like men. There has to be a softer side too, something that allows both people to bring out the best in each other. Another issue rarely talked about is how feminism has infantilized women. It's created a culture where women are told they're always right, always victims, and never responsible for the outcomes in their lives. But personal growth doesn't happen in that kind of environment, it stalls. Accountability is essential to become a grounded, mature adult.
It's staged. It's like a method actor. Yeah. You know, think about something sad, which in this case, I believe probably the reason she's crying is because of what she's done and the ramifications of what she's done. And she's drawing on that.
I consistently hold my daughters accountable for their actions, and in doing so, I often feel like I'm defying what society now expects from a father. But I do it anyway, because I know it's good for their development. It teaches them to handle feedback from others, including future partners. That kind of accountability used to be normal. Now it feels almost rebellious. The broader truth is, women today are not being raised to be resilient. They're being programmed to deflect blame, reject criticism, and embrace victimhood. The truth is, we're not in a war between men and women. We're in a struggle between reality and ideology. And feminism is on the wrong side of that line. It demands power without responsibility and treats any form of male strength or leadership as a threat. Feminism surrounds women with constant messaging, but leaves no space for reflection or alternative thinking. Anything that challenges the narrative is aggressively treated as an attack on women themselves. But feminists aren't acting on behalf of my daughters. I am. And as their father, I'm rejecting the extremes of feminism. They don't need these sad, angry women ruining their lives. So let's stop pretending that being anti-feminist is the same as being anti-woman. That's a lie feminists tell to shield themselves from criticism. And it's the same reason they attack traditional wives. Because those women make different choices, and worse, they're often happier for it. It's a deflection, not a defense. Because if you actually care about women, if you care about families, if you care about love, you have to be willing to call out the damage. You have to know your enemy. And right now, feminism is that enemy.